All right, we live with another one. All right, this the 32nd official episode about the Bench podcast, man. 32 of the mugs in, 32 eps. A lot of hard work went into 32 episodes to get to this point where we at. I just want to thank all our supporters who've been liking the like button, hitting that subscribe button, following along with us on the journey. All the new people that's tuning in who clicked on this video, thank you for tuning in. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Uh, do all those things, get us up in the algorithm. Subscribe to your boy. One of the best podcasts up there, up and growing, still, learning and getting better day.
Sure.
Day by day and things like that. But today is Thursday. Obviously, we back with our regular schedule programming. Last video we just gave y'all a little update. Well, a little opening night NBA tip off had started, so we gave y'all just a little video on that, which we'll dive in a little bit deeper in today in this video. But Thursday night football, Buffalo Bills they had faced the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Currently, it is the fourth quarter. We decided to go ahead and start recording to get this episode out to y'all. It's currently 24-10. The game. I want to say the game basically over. Tampa Bay haven't been able to.
The game over with, bro. You
Yeah.
sugarcoat it. The game over with. Tampa Bay, they can't move the ball at all. Mike Evans, he's in jail. It looks like Chris Godwin's their best receiver with Baker Mayfield. Josh Allen, he's looking. He got back to Josh Allen type of game. Two touchdown passes, one running into the end zone. Not looking as good as they usually do, as the Buffalo Bills usually do. I did have them scoring over 25 points today, so it looked like they on schedule for that. They got 24 points with a quarter left. They can score it whenever they want to. It seemed like they could have just went for it, but they really just chilling. Like that fourth down, 4th and 1, they could easily just did that tush push that they did on the 4th and 1 the next drive. But I understand why they didn't. I understand what because Josh Allen the next possession literally ran it in. So Ken Dorsey, Sean McDermott, they probably like, we got Josh Allen. He's taking a lot of hits. We don't just want to beat this dude up. Because he has been taking a lot of hits over a 4 or 5 year career. It adds up for a 6'5 dude, 6'5", 250-pound guy. But the Bills, I'm a Chiefs guy, so it be hurting for me because it's like, I know they are good, but I also know they are frauds. So they are like in a gray area all the time for me because as a guy that's a Chiefs fan, I know they frauds because every time I see them play against a team of our caliber, shit the bed. But I also, as a taking the Chiefs bias out of it, I see and acknowledge that they are a good team. They got two guys on that offense who are top 5 in their position, Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. They got a great coach. They got a great defense. Even though it do be banged up, it was banged up the last few seasons. Still good. Still get pressure. Force turnovers, which is always a big thing for Buffalo Bills. Forcing turnovers, which is the number one thing. Getting the ball back in Josh Allen's hands, but Tampa Bay, man, I don't know. It's not looking good. Off defense is looking decent though. Run defense is looking good, and I would even say they pass defense was looking decent. They just playing the Bills off after a horrible divisional loss to the Patriots that they should have won. They playing them at home. I knew the Bills gonna come out on fire. Looking to bounce back for real, and that's exactly what they doing. Josh Allen, he trying to get his name back in that MVP vote. He trying to get his name back in that ladder. Stephon Diggs trying to make a point. I know they don't want to be this mid of the team. That They don't want to go 4-4. They want to be 5-3 because they already behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
Miami 5-2.
Yeah.
So they already behind the 8 ball a little bit. Even though they do got the tiebreaker, but they lost less games than y'all. So if they win this game, they'll be 5-2. They'll be the 1 seed. So they don't want. No, they'll be still the 2 seed. They still have 3 losses. So they don't want to be behind 8 ball no more.
Mhm.
I knew this game was gonna be like one of those. Come out, show them, let's prove it, let's give it to our fans, let's get these guys out of here. That's why I feel like they just putting the ball back to them a lot because they defense. If they're not gonna score, if they're not gonna show us they have the ability to at least move down the field consistently. Why keep our offense out there and beat our guys up? Let's just keep our defense out there and we're gonna get the ball back because they're not moving down the field. So let's just do that instead of going for risking anything to take our 3 or punting back to them. Get the ball right back. So this game definitely pretty much over with unless Baker Mayfield come out with some heroics. I don't see that happening. So I'm gonna go on my limb and say this is over with. But great game. Buccaneers defense, offense got to step it up.
It's hard for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their organization and the direction that they trying to go towards, knowing they were just a couple years removed from the Tom Brady era when they was competing for Super Bowls. winning the Super Bowl, and obviously, trying to get back with Tom Brady. That was the expectations. And you coming from that, and then, obviously you transitioning into a new era, a new just a new identity of a team where, replacing Tom with, Baker Mayfield. Well, no disrespect to Baker Mayfield. At the same time, all disrespect to Baker Mayfield is Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's warranted.
he is warranted. He just not one of those caliber guys. He's a tier below mid. So you know what the tier below mid is, and I'm not finna say it for the people at home. You know, stay in school. If you don't know what a tier below mid is, stay in school. But Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they got weapons over there. Just their offensive line, their run game. It's hard to compound a lot of your weaknesses when they on full display week in and week out. We see you not able to run the ball. We see you not able to, keep the defensive line, that front four away from Baker Mayfield. Then you compressing that on top of, like we just said, Baker Mayfield already now one of the elite quarterbacks, these top tier guys, these upper echelon, playmakers that are game changers on your roster. So I just think a lot of that is compounding each other. It's overwhelming the defense a little bit too. Cause like you said, the defense, they've been holding their part. They've been doing everything they supposed to do. It's very hard when you got an offense who can't put up points against a team that can't put up points, in your defense out here, holding people to out here to 15, 16, 17, 20 points. In today's NFL, that's a good thing. You holding the Buffalo Bills right now to 24 points in fourth quarter. It's fourth quarter right now. You only got and a lot of that got to do with the offense not being able to move the ball, changing momentum of the game. And I feel like that's what the NFL, like the main thing watching this season, in 2023-2024 NFL season. Red zone, defense and offense, and what your win totals on third down. That's really what the game's gonna come down to. In which today Tampa Bay, they're not able to keep drives alive, keep putting their defense in bad positions, keep putting their defense on the field, tiring them out. Buffalo Bills, they basically, running the clock, doing all this, just running down the throat. From the Buffalo Bills standpoint, I'm just looking for Buffalo Bills. Like you said, these last couple of years, you got to respect what they do. They do got a good team. I don't want to take nothing away from them. But what I'm looking for the Buffalo Bills, for them to be on this verge and on the cusp of, breaking through it, knocking on the door, finally getting over that hump. So this season, I was just looking at them just trying to be a dominant Buffalo Bills team. I think we have yet to see that this season, where they just out here dominating folks. Like this should have been a dominating fashion.
Nah, they was doing it for the first few weeks when they was putting after they lost to I forgot who they first lost was, and they played the Dolphins and they played
The
two other teams.
Jaguars.
Yeah, and then they played two other teams. They put up 40, 38, and 35. That's when they was looking dominant. They were holding teams under 20 points. That was, and then I think Tre'Davious White had got hurt that game. Matt Milano got hurt shortly after, and that's when they lost last week to the Patriots. So they had some losses that has been like questionable, but again, they just in a gray area for me because they can't stay healthy. But even with not staying healthy, they still are a good team. They still find a way to win a lot of games. And they still find a way to make it far in the playoffs, whether that's second round, third round, wherever far it takes them. They haven't made it to the Super Bowl yet, which is, obviously their goal. But I think they are on the right tracks. I don't know. I just think the AFC is just so tough. It sucks they in the AFC because they was in the NFC. It'd probably be different. A lot of these AFC teams in the NFC would probably be different. They'll
Yeah,
probably be the
definitely.
top team over there because it's really just Niners and Eagles and they just battling it out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if another team was over there, but it's just AFC so stacked and so loaded, and you just got to beat one of those top dogs, and they got the potential too. But every time I see them in that biggest moment,
Yeah, they never
they never.
show up or arrive to the fullest capability. That 13 second that year, I feel like should have been that year, but obviously your secondary couldn't hold up. One able to put pressure on the ball, future front four. You let somebody to be able to drive down a length of a field 13 seconds in the most crucial part of your season, lets you kind of know you hit you. That's a good check right there.
Yeah.
You know, uh, that's really all I got on Thursday night football. I really want too much, to
A
really,
regular Thursday night football game. Amazon Prime knows what they're doing.
yeah,
Is
stealing money.
next week is the Titans and somebody else. Like
Steelers.
yeah, they know what they're doing. Put the worst game on them hoes for the week, and they just want that bread from it.
You know what I'm saying?
They
Stealing
want it
money.
on their network. They gonna have their own commercials. It's gonna be straight Amazon commercials, straight Amazon employees. I'm like, damn, these niggas really finessed the NFL.
But now I seen something on Twitter, and I wanted to ask you this. It was like and I'm gonna just put my sauce on it. Start bench cut the wide receiver room. The first room is Tyreek Hill, Jerry Rice, and it was Larry Fitzgerald. Then it was Terrell Owens, Antonio Brown, uh, Julio Jones. And the last one was Randy Moss, Devontae Adams. Dang, who was
I'll
that?
probably just go with the first one.
The first one.
Yeah, Tyreek, Jerry, and I forgot the last dude you said. But just based off those two alone, I'm probably gonna have to go that. Everybody look at Jerry as the GOAT,
Hmm.
even T.O., who's top three receiver. And Tyreek, I see what he's doing in today's age, so I don't even gotta know the third person.
I think it was
Whoever
Larry.
I think you probably did say that, and if you did, yeah, I'm definitely taking them.
It
Yeah,
was like production over like a mug.
yeah, for sure. You three wide receivers, 1,000 yards. Nigga got nigga, a quarterback gonna be MVP for like 5 straight years. I
Yeah,
ain't gonna
yeah.
lie. They gonna be throwing for 6,000 yards in a season with those numbers.
That's a college wide receiver room.
That's a crazy room.
Either way, any group.
Speed, route. That's a crazy room. I ain't gonna lie. The other ones was
I'm gonna
great
say
too, but
Terrell Owens, AB. I mean, all in their prom.
yeah. But I ain't gonna lie. Jerry Rice with a receiver like Tyreek just blazing. Oh my god. Then you got Larry Fitzgerald, big ass who don't drop the ball.
And everything underneath. He everything
That's
underneath.
I ain't gonna get that one. It's right there. Yeah, it's head and shoulders. I ain't gonna say head and shoulders, but I'm clearly taking that one.
But yeah, man, let's go and get into this to this NBA
What I've
talk,
been
man.
waiting for, bro. The NBA season, man, this week have been great. I ain't gonna lie. The week, this opening, everything about it just been great. We talked about the Nuggets and the Lakers, obviously last episode. Talked about the Suns and the Warriors. There's a lot of games that went on yesterday. Everybody who didn't play those games, so the other 2016s in the NBA, nah, about 2014 because the Brooklyn, no, I'm tripping. Who playing right now? 76ers and the Bucks. They first game was today.
Yeah.
Everybody else they played yesterday, and it was a lot of bad games. It was a lot of good games. It was a lot of new people and new faces. First thing I want to just get off right quick, just because I know it's not gonna be a topic or nothing, but just want Jordan Poole with the Washington Wizards. That game in particular, because we was talking about it earlier. The people who watch ball, that's not a game where people who don't watch ball is gonna really watch or tune into at all. But you got a team like the Pacers that has Tyrese Halliburton coming off an injury when they was a 5 seed last year. They got Bruce Brown, they got Benedict Mathurin, Miles Turner. I really just want to see how they were going to jail. Jarris Walker didn't really play like that. I thought he was going to play more, especially since they was winning.
Obi.
And he's a rookie. Yeah, Obi Toppin looked great. He's going to be probably an MIP candidate. He's going to be perfect with that team with Tyrese. But, the Wizards, that's a team where I'm looking at, and they may not be a league pass team. So like by week 3, week 4 of the NBA season, I may not be watching them all the time on league pass. But if they are playing like a team where I think they can't get them, like a Pacers, I think just because Pacers ain't really got too much defense, they got great rim defense with Miles Turner. The perimeter is not just great. They do got Bruce Brown, don't get me wrong, but it's not just amazing. I think Jordan Poole, Cal Kuzma, they can have good games against those type of teams. So there was a game I was looking at. I like for a low key game that was just league pass. That was a great game for me to watch. And really, what I was asking, what I brought that up to ask you is, do you think Tyrese Halliburton can be a top 5 point guard, top 10 point guard in his time in the NBA?
He already a top 10 point guard.
Where you have him at?
I don't know, like right off the bat, but he definitely.
You think about it for me. Where you have him at, man? Come on, where you have him at?
Kyrie, Luka, Steph, Fox, SGA.
It's about that 7, 8, 9-ish range. I like that. I like that definitely for Tyrese. Definitely from where he came from with Sacramento, trading for Sabonis. And then he was looking great last year. I know you said that's one of the teams you like this year, and I was watching them just because I like Jordan Poole. I'm obviously gonna watch Jordan Poole because he's a Warriors guy. But just seeing Tyrese and how comfortable he looked, like a playmaker, and he just runs the team so well. And the young guys coming onto that team, the guys who's around the role players on the team, all they gotta do is do their role.
Mm-hmm.
You cut. He's like a baby, like a smaller Jokic, without getting like the rebounds and stuff. Like the perfect like facilitator, playmaker, make everybody around him better. Obi Toppin is finna look so great with Tyrese. Bruce Brown is finna look so great. And they're not gonna get talked about a lot this year by a lot of people. I have to give the Pacers, they flower. They are a very good team that's gonna go under the radar. They probably gonna have a Kings type of you. Didn't you say that?
I ain't well, yeah, yeah, to a certain extent, yeah.
I
In
think
terms of like
they'll be
a
like
sleeper team.
they'll probably be a 4 or 5 seed again. If Tyrese don't, I like this team. This not again. That's not a game where nobody was really watching or nothing. But I saw some stuff. I'm like, yeah, and they all young, getting in their prime. Love it, love it.
I respect it. I respect it. Well, I wanna get to the juicy things. I want to get your like, what was your initial thoughts? Finally looking at the Celtics. They obviously they new group with Adam Porzingis going up against the New York Knicks. What did you like from the Celtics
Man,
Celtics
bro,
standpoint?
there was so much I liked about the Celtics, bro. I'm not a Celtics guy, but we beat them in the finals. But I was just watching them, and they was blowing the Knicks out at first, which I knew it wasn't gonna be a blowout. I'm like, the Knicks they just right there. They
Hmm.
missing a lot of shots. They down only 12 at max. I'm like, they right there. They gonna make some few shots. But in that, the Boston Celtics offense was great, and their defense was great. Drew Holiday, the addition of Drew Holiday is a better Marcus Smart. He held, I saw that he held Jalen Brunson. I think Julius Randle was like 2 of 18 shooting, which is fucking wild because that's Jalen Brunson, who's a point guard, like 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", whatever, and that Julius Randle, who's a power forward, who's like 6'9". That's two different positions,
And
and
archetypes.
he's switching off of those type of people and guarding. And I remember vividly watching like Julius Randle try to bump him down. Drew Holiday 6'4", 6'5". He's strong. He ain't just he's one of the best defenders in the NBA. They upgraded from Marcus Smart, got that Porzingis, looked amazing. It was times in that game where I thought he was on something for real.
Hmm.
He was not missing from three. He gave the Celtics and Joe Mazzulla exactly what Joe Mazzulla wants. Joe Mazzulla, he plays basketball. I said this before on an earlier podcast, like episode like 8, 9, 7, whenever they was in the playoffs. They play basketball. Joe Mazzulla, the way he played, is like a kid playing 2K. 5 out, shoot three.
Yeah.
That's literally what this trade. I don't think if Ime was the coach, I don't think they trade Robert Williams just because Ime would have got the most out of Rob, and they was right there. I just think Tatum had to play better.
Yeah, and they
But Joe Mazzulla, he the coach now, and his way, he liked the 5 out spacing, and I like the shooting. Getting Porzingis is it fits the perfectly what they wanted to do because he can still protect the rim exactly like how Robert Williams was at the same level, being 7'4", 7'3", and then the perimeter shooting, and then the jump we finna see from Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown, I didn't like nothing from him last night really, so I'm not gonna really talk about him. But first game, it really got overshadowed by everybody else. Tatum, he put his hard hat on today, last night. Played great. Number one option on that team. Getting the number one defensive assignment. Every time he got a switch, man, it was money. It was food. It was cookie. Like just shoot over the top of him every time. And even if he didn't get the switch, he was going downhill. He looked like a complete offensive player. Yet, like from the playmaking, he was rebounding. He was shooting the three ball, the mid range, attacking the basket, which we've been asking Tatum to do for years, and he's doing it at a high level. And I think if he's playing like that, one of the three people, Drew Holiday, Kristaps, or Jaylen Brown is gonna have a 25-point plus game, whatever the night. So Tatum, if he give he gonna give you his 25, 27, 30, even his average. So he just need that. Yesterday was Porzingis, 30 points. Crazy. He not doing that every game. But Jaylen Brown also only gave you 12. He not doing that every game. Drew Holiday only gave you about 12, 15 too. He not doing that every game. And they both shot terribly. Both of them. One was 40%, 0 for
I
5.
think I'm relying on Drew doing that every night on this team.
I think he can shoot. I think he can shoot a lot better. That's what I'm saying. I don't just because the shots he was getting, they weren't bad quality shots like they was on Milwaukee. He just wasn't knocking them over down for real. So I think he will. He's not gonna be no 60% shooter or nothing. But I do think it'll be games where it's just a game where they just didn't go in. Jaylen Brown, again, he just a game they didn't go in. It'll be games where they do go in. Porzingis gonna have games where he just don't go in. It just the balance of the team, how it is perfect of how Joe wants it to go. And if it, they looking like a well-oiled machine. They looking really good. So I don't want to take nothing from them, but they live and die by the three. They live and die by. I said that when the Knicks coming back in I was like, that's they just gonna keep shooting threes. They not gonna change it if they not, and that's why it was good to see Tatum finally taking the mid ranges and finally putting pressure on the basket because that's what the Knicks were doing to get back in it. Then the threes start coming. The Knicks weren't making no jumpers, weren't making no shots. It was only down 12 in the Boston Celtics making everything. It felt like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just that's why I want to give credit to the Knicks too. They will be a good team too. That grit, they hang their hat on that grit, that defense, playing at our pace. We ain't gonna nope, y'all ain't gonna score 130 points on us. Y'all ain't gonna shoot and make 123s on us. We ain't doing that. Y'all gonna have to fight for this win, which Celtic did. Commands to y'all shouldn't have been that close in the first place because y'all should have ran away with it. But I liked what I seen from both teams going like from the first game. I liked what I seen from both teams.
Yeah, I like what I seen too. Coming into the game, I really had like a little question marks on how Derek White and not Mark Smart and Drew Holiday was gonna be able to play together. Because in my eyes, don't take away the name. To me, they the same player in the sense. They both defend, they both play making, got good size and length on them. You know, pretty much do the same things on the basketball court. Just one do it a little bit higher because he been doing it a little bit longer. Things like that nature. But I like how they play defensively. I like the size and length that they can switch out and be versatile like that on the defense side of the ball. Offensively, Jalen, like I'm not going to talk about Tatum because you already spoken all the points. KP, obviously, that was probably the number one thing that I like from the Boston Celtics with Kristaps Porzingis. The multiple ways that they can play, different ways they can be able to integrate him and get the best out of him. Whether it's being a screener, being a pick and popper, or being a roller, being a spot up shooter, playing out the mid post, playing out the post, doing different things like that. The only thing that I would like to see differently, see him a little bit more active on the offensive glass. Besides that, I think KP probably had like a 9.5 out of 10 in his first game with the debut with the Celtics. But Jaylen Brown, man, you had an all off season to address your number one issue, bro. I don't think you're never gonna be able to beat the left hand going left allegations. You know, a lot of turnovers, sloppy ball handling. And that's what I seen from Jaylen Brown in the first game, game yesterday, excuse me. You know, he liked the third option. I seen a lot of people on Twitter that was going,
That's literally what I was thinking. Like, bro, is this the new duo
you know
now?
what I'm saying?
That's
This
literally what I
nigga,
was thinking while watching. That's
this
crazy.
that boy JB not part of the duo no more. And I'm not gonna say it's probably for the best because it is game one. I would like to see at least. I'm a firm believer of I can make a fair assessment based off how teams is at Christmas. I feel like at the 2025 game mark, now you can get a good indicator of who these teams are, who these players are. All the players gonna know their role and shit by then. They're gonna be adjusted to playing with each other and things of that nature. And like I don't know, Jaylen Brown just looked like he was just out there. It didn't look like he was really much engaged. He would just look like uh, he was out there playing a team sport. It was like whenever he couldn't be able to get his stuff going, which a lot of times what is the case when he can't when he not able to get his shot going or scoring all offensively, you know it just transpire over to his ball handling, to his playmaking, over to his defense, things of that nature. And he ended up having a game that he had last night. I really forgot that JB was on the court. Not even gonna lie to you, like dead ass forgot he was on the court, bro. But yeah, that's really what I took from the Celtics standpoint, from the Knicks. From the Knicks, I just think the team is it's a good roster.
Great roster.
You know what I'm saying? Good roster. I just don't know how far you can get with Julius Randle being your number one option. Julius Randle, he was force feeding himself. He's strong. He's part of the strong man crew. He going left. You're not stopping him from getting left. If you try to stop him, you're getting stiff arm, truck. Some type of physical altercation. You know what I'm saying? Some type of physical regimen is coming. Because of that, because of Julius Randle. I just didn't like the pace that they was playing with, the offensive flow that they was playing with. It really was like Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett, all those guys left-handed, and all they was like, okay, it's my turn. I'm finna just go try to cook one-on-one. You really want to see him backdoor cuts. You really want to see him screen to screener. You want to see a lot of sets and actions going on from New York Knicks with ultimately made their offense a little stagnant, in which they already lack a lot of shooting over there.
That's
You
just the
know,
Eastern Conference as a whole, though. Like even the games today it's really just no movement. Just get the ball to your best player and
and
four other
yeah,
people just stand around one person move a little bit, just float to make it seem like you back screening somebody, but you just gonna move out the way in a few seconds. Cause you come on now,
Yeah,
like
not doing nothing for real,
The
for real.
East is just whatever. I like the West because the West is so innovative. The offenses are so like run
More,
and gun. It's
yeah,
a lot of more sets in motion. East is literally get the ball to the best player, and the other four people look at him, and then the fourth person who not gonna get the ball gonna set a little screen to the back to clear up the open dude in the corner. You see it every play. You see it
definitely.
every play, and that's literally what the Knicks was doing. Emmanuel quickly was in the action. His shots were just falling, so his one on ones was looking good. He had a lot of ISO where it was just him and four people just standing around just looking at him. And like, luckily he was making them because if it weren't for him making those shots, they probably would have got beat by 20.
Yeah, yeah.
If it weren't for IQ, he came up big and he could be a six man of the year candidate.
And another thing from the Boston Celtics, what I didn't like from the Boston Celtics is the reincarnate theme that we seeing from this core group, that this team that we've been seeing over the last few years. They always got these big leads or look like they in firm control of the game, and they always end up seeming to get walked down.
Mm-hmm.
They're not able to put away games, close out games, and that's really been like their weakness over these last probably 2, 3, 4 years, closing out games, getting over that hump in late close ball games, turnovers and things of that nature. I just think we just need to see a Andrew Holiday that's a good veteran presence, being a true point guard, somebody who can be able to take control and make sure, like, just calm down in those type of situations and really run the offense, just to keep them settled and unrattled in those type of environments and in those type of situations. But going forward, I do like the Celtics. I like that team and how it's constructed and how it's built. You know, like you said, is if they can just fix them living and dying by the three, because we all know playoff basketball is not won by the 3 point line. And if they can change that, they're gonna be scary and definitely hard to beat.
Definitely.
But you know, what was your thoughts on the first time ever seeing the new duo up in Milwaukee, man? We just got done watching. They just beat the Philadelphia 76ers in their first game.
I liked it. Damian Lillard, he came out and he hooped. He showed his ass, bro. He showed his ass. Giannis, he really ain't show his ass. He really ain't have to. That duo was gonna be scary, bro. And it was tearing me because I was like, damn, them and the Celtics are like gonna be battling because both of those teams, just with the star power alone, because like I'm not Porzingis not a star, but like he can play like a star. If he play like that, he that's star potential.
Hmm.
And they got Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, who didn't do anything today, but they still got Brook Lopez, who is a still at this age a very 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 good center to have on a championship team. Knock down the three, great interior defense. They got Bobby Portis off that bench. Jay Crowder even came in and hit some really big threes on that comeback. This team it looked good. The Sixers, the offense started off too slow for the Sixers. It was too much foul baiting, too much watching, too much. This team I was talking about, too much watching, too much. Get the ball to Joel on the post, and it's literally just three people in this corner, and whoever passes it to Joel gonna run all the way to the corner, and they're gonna get a screen for a screen for like a skip pass that's not gonna be made. Joel is not making that pass. They just gonna keep going with the double team. And he just gonna kick it out. It was the same thing the whole first half, and they just hoping for a foul. Second half, they actually start playing basketball and actually start trying to score instead of trying to get fouled, try to shoot free throws, and then the game start getting close because once Dane went out in that third quarter, Dane was keeping them afloat. He got out, they went on an 11-0 run. They called a timeout. They had got Dame right back in there. At that point, it's damn near a tie game though.
Hmm.
But I like both of these teams though. Still, James Harden, he didn't even play. He didn't show up. He didn't suit up. I mean, not show up. He didn't suit up because obviously they told him to stay back. But once he do come back, man, because I don't know if Tyrese Maxey continues to play like that. I think he can play like that even with Harden because he didn't look like just a true like playmaker today.
Hmm.
He really just looked like his normal self playing the two, which I think that'll always best fit him. So when Harden do get back, you got a playmaker to play make naturally and organically. I think the offense will look a little better. I just hope it's not so much just dump it down to the post, pick and roll 100 times, because the Bucks again they often just different because they got Brook Lopez who can stretch the floor or play inside. They got Giannis who sometimes take the ball up court, so they got different ways to play it. They got Dame who obviously was the catalyst of tonight, going crazy. But the Sixers, it just they have one way to play right now,
Mm-hmm.
and they need they got to do more than that because they could have won this game. They lost by 1 point. I'm saying all that they lost by one. I'm hyping up the Bucks. I'm saying all this they won by one. Same with Celtics. They barely won two great games, great game, great first game. But I do think the Sixers they got stuff to improve on. But I do think Nick Nurse, I do think he'll upgrade from Doc, and I do think that is showing because he was calling timeouts in the right time. He was getting them in perfect situations. Kelly Oubre, he definitely is a big piece of that team. He came off the bench and was the best player. Him and Tyrese was hooping. Joel, ask your best player to drop 25, 28, probably would have won.
Mm-hmm.
Play a little better, probably would have won, but he lost by one. So you go, you live with that. You playing against a top team, you ain't just shit the bed. Lost by 1 point on the road, So I like both of these teams though. Both of these teams in the Celtics and the East. I'm glad they went back to East and West All Star because man, that top heavy of the East part, top five ish, man, they got some squads over there.
They do got some squads. From the 76ers standpoint, the thing that I ain't like about them was their offensive process this game. It would just look way too stagnant. You could tell missing James Harden played a big role in this Philadelphia 76ers offense today. It was little to no playmaking out there. It was more so whoever got the ball, that's who's gonna be the one taking the shots or trying to make a play for themselves. Really wasn't too much making plays for other, Tyrese Maxey coming in. He was talking on the JJ Redick podcast talking about, he know his role and, not having James and be able to, play point guard, do all these different things. I was looking for Tyrese Maxey, to show us what he's been working on in the offseason with those type of, pocket passes with the different reads, and it was like blatant and then watching some of those games that like he could have made a couple passes that he should have made being a point guard, being a year 4, year 5 player, making those certain type of reads, which should be routine by now, being the caliber player that he's trying to reach. I feel like he should have been making those type of plays, and he wasn't. And missing James, having James out there, he can make those type of plays, make those type of reads, be that traditional point guard that you need to, obviously get the ball swinging and things like a thing of that nature. That's one thing I ain't like. Joel Embiid got to stop foul baiting. Just play basketball, man. You too big to be out there, foul baiting, trying to get to the line.
It's bad to watch, bro. It's a hard thing to watch.
Yeah, it is hard thing to watch. You was too damn big. Just go out there, post somebody up, take you 2, 3 dribbles, turn over left shoulder, right shoulder. You got the skill set, you got the footwork. You can fade, you can post up and under, do all different type of things. You got the heavy set body build to be able to bag your way, muscle your way into the paint, and make your presence felt. That's what you should do. But I also want to put a little bit of the onus on Nick Nurse to be able to you had a whole off season training camp and do all these things to to integrate your offense without James Harden. James Harden he haven't been there this whole time, so you had time to work out the kinks and things of that nature. I would love to see Joel Embiid get some off ball screens to be able to put him get him in post ups on the post.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of just pick and roll and picking pops and be able to just bounce pass it to him on a short roll for a little pull up.
So basic.
I'm
Yeah.
tired of seeing that. We gotta be able to get him in
In the
in
paint.
spots and in positions to be able to be effective, not just side pick and roll all the time
Yeah.
throughout the whole game. Another thing I ain't like was, but we knew this coming in with Nick Nurse being the head coach. He liked to play his guys heavy minutes. Joel Embiid. I ain't gonna lie. Joel Embiid was he was like 90% of the reason why they lost this game. You know, he had a lot of unforced turnovers, a lot of unforced mistakes, a lot of misassignments. He just looked like he was out there gassed. He was tired, and a lot of that got to do with the minutes he played. Only playing one preseason game, not giving him time to ramp up. And you going up against somebody like Brook Lopez, and you got to bang Giannis too on the same night. So I think that got a little bit to do with it. But I'm not gonna lie. The team is very solid. If James Harden do potentially do come back, I do like the 76ers. Like I said, I like the Kelly Oubre pickup a lot. He was definitely their best player tonight. He came out there and gave them a spark. He gave them the 3-point, the floor spacing that they needed, defensive versatility. He came out with aggression. and a lot of things that he can be able to expand on during the season. I think he'll be able to be somebody who'll be able to put pressure on the rim as well. I just like that whole 76er second unit with with Oubre, with Milton and
I think he started today.
he did start, but he was in
He
that
will.
second
He'll say
unit.
he
You
will
know what
be.
I'm saying?
He will come off the bench. Him, Pat Bev will be off that bench with him. Kelly Oubre. It's a good bench. It's definitely a good bench because they know their role.
Yeah, they know their
Pat
role.
Bev coming in to defend. Kelly Oubre coming in to be like I guess to be like a scorer, a spark plug off the bench, but he can also defend. He long, lengthy, he athletic.
Okay, that's
D'Anthony
what they
Milton,
were going to get
yeah,
the ball like
man, bro, what? I'm like Kelly Oubre. When have he ever like? Yeah.
since he was splashing them bitches too. I'm talking about splashing.
Man, best player on he was the best player
That
tonight
by and it's not like
because he was
by
getting buckets.
far.
He was getting
Yeah,
he was getting buckets. Tyrese for the first half he didn't get he wasn't getting buckets. I was watching. He was getting straight free throws.
yeah.
Joel, that's all he was, and that's why I was so annoyed. That's what I didn't like. The whole first half between both teams was just two teams trying to foul bait. Dame was hooping. That's why Dame separated himself. That's when Kelly came in and started doing what he was doing. He separated himself. His niggas went foul bait. Niggas was
Getting
hooping and
buckets.
getting buckets. Dame, that 4 point play, he didn't try to do. He didn't do that. He just coming off the screen shooting that bit and won.
Another name I want to give a shout out to because we bash him a lot. Tobias Harris had a good
He
game
did have
today
a
too.
solid game.
He was part of that he started, but he was part of that second unit like to help them lead their charge and obviously help them get back in the game. I'm trying to remember who was out there, but I know it
Was
was
PJ Tucker out there with him?
he went
Paul
out.
Reed.
He was out there. It was Paul Reed, Tobias, Uber, because it was everybody had length out there. It was like no short. Tyrese Maxey went out there.
Danny Green. It was
Yeah,
yeah,
Danny
I do remember
Green.
that
Yeah,
lineup. Yeah.
that lineup. Yeah, yeah. I like that lineup a lot. You know what I'm
Danny
saying?
Green.
You
Yeah,
got
that's a
floor
good
spacing
lineup.
out there. Everybody that know their role. They're gonna defend, play hard. Length out there. I like that bench. You obviously with James coming back, you gonna at least have Tyrese, James, or Embiid on the court.
Mm-hmm.
It's and then, having a security blanket, somebody like Kelly Oubre, who you can rely on off the bench, which I knew he was gonna be a big addition to this team. Him being in Charlotte, he had a good season in Charlotte last year until like when the games really didn't matter no more. He stopped giving the Fs. But yeah, I like the 76ers from the Bucks standpoint. Their offense was stagnant too. I kept seeing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. If they lack playmaking as well. Dame not out there to facilitate. Let me just let y'all know that right now. And in that first, when Dame wasn't getting going at first, it's gonna look like that sometime. He gonna say Giannis is really gonna be a 2-man game. Dame only coming off this pick and roll to shoot threes, or just pass it to Giannis if he open. And when it's going in, it's gonna look good.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's not, it's just gonna be looking like Dame just chucking threes. You know what I'm saying? Because like how I said, I didn't know Jaylen Brown was on the court. I forgot anybody else who scored. I didn't see nobody else score for the Bucks outside of Dame, and outside of like a couple, two, three threes from Jay Crowder, from Brook Lopez. He had like 5 points. I didn't see BP score. I didn't see Covington score for real. Obviously, they did score, but I'm saying like it really wasn't much factor. But like every time, if Dame don't got the ball, getting into that 2 game action, Giannis bringing the ball up and they getting in to clear out ball screen. The way they playmaking is now with this current roster is Giannis getting downhill, hoping somebody collapse, and just kicking out for an open three. And that's really what I seen today. It really wasn't much movement. Like you said, that kind of east, but it wasn't much movement to little to no movement at all. No ball movement. Really no playmaking being at all. Like they were just going out there and getting it for themselves. And it really was an ugly win.
Mm-hmm.
They should have won by more. I really felt like they was the better team today. But like you can see, they got a lot of kinks to work out and things like that. Chris Middleton, he came in, he was playing well like the first couple of minutes, didn't see him again.
Yeah, that confused me. What's going on with dude?
But he just came off that knee surgery, so
Yeah, I thought he would play a little bit more than that though. Damn.
yeah, that was. I don't even think he played past first quarter.
I didn't see him at all the second half. Like he was on the bench, but I didn't see him get in like
Yeah.
at all. I was like, damn, Chris Middleton just riding the pond, and he was looking good. He had that three. I'm like, okay, Chris Middleton,
Had that pull up.
I should have put some money on you. This nigga did not play the rest of the game. I said,
I
they
know
knew
you
something.
glad. I know you glad.
They knew something.
But another the Milwaukee, they starting line, they defense, they like perimeter defense and things like.
They do.
But you like I said, I'm not gonna say too much on it because it's just game one, and they got a lot of kinks and things to still work out
And they
and go
home.
through. Yeah, like in that trumps everything. Once you get a win, it don't matter because we can be saying this and they could have lost, and what could be, you know what I'm saying, make it way more worse. But since they won, we can slide off on it a little bit. But don't. Shannon Sharp said his coach gave him a famous saying. He said, I won't accept anything in a loss that I would. I mean, I wouldn't accept anything in a win that I would in a loss. So if I wasn't tolerated in a loss, just because you did it in the win, don't mean I still tolerate it.
Don't mean it's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I looked at it with the Bucks today.
I mess with that.
Yeah.
I mess with that. They definitely should be playing better. But I guess with Chris Middleton playing, they probably would have been had a better offense because outside of Dame, he the only other shot creator, sole shot creator.
The only.
Yeah,
Can I say
literally.
you're not giving it to Malik Beasley, Jay Crowder, you're not Pat Covington, campaign. That was the four perimeter guys coming off your bench today.
Bobby Portis. Let me chill,
I'm
bro.
finna say, bro, stop playing, bro.
Let me
Hey,
chill.
bro, stop. I was finna say something, but I had forgot, bro. I was finna say something. What you think about the Wemby debut?
I wanted him to play a little bit more too. I think Pop had him on the bench a little too long, but I understand.
Foul trouble.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. He's a kid. Shit, let this guy play. But he looked good. He looked good. He's a rookie, young as hell. But it wasn't even about Wemby because Wemby really got outplayed by another rookie. Derek Lively was out there killing.
He
Off
was.
straight lobs. He, bro, Luka is gonna make him look so good.
And Kyrie.
Yeah, but yeah, for sure, both of them. But I'm talking about Luka because I think he'll be there for a minute. I think Derek Lively here to stay for 5-10 years. Is I think he's the next Tyson Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
I think he literally is. All he got to do, go up, block, contest shots, get rebounds, and on the other end, offensively, set hard screens, dive, roll hard, and be ready to catch a oop. Be ready to get a miss and look out for a shooter. Be ready to that all the simple stuff for a rookie. Everything they asking him to do is stuff that he's been doing, and it ain't like a play make for somebody, create a play for somebody, create a play for yourself. All you gotta do is play your role. He did it perfectly last night. He was looking good, and even the Mavericks they still barely won. But Wemby, he's gonna be box office. I don't think I've seen the Spurs game that packed out in a minute. Like even on national TV, that's crazy. He was on national TV.
So I got a question. That's really why I brought this up. So, did that game last night tell you more about the Mavs or more about the Spurs since it was a close game and it came down to the wire like that?
Neither. I just think you just first game of the season. I don't think I don't know. I ain't look at it like that. I just looked at first game of the season. Both teams coming out and see jitters. I understand some teams. I think that's just that's how the Mavericks gonna be a lot of their seasons. That's how they was a lot last year. A lot of they probably the Vikings of the NBA. A lot of close score games last year they lost. I know a lot of them. I know they lost a lot of them because shit. Every time they get to a game winning situation, they ran the same play and they couldn't get a shot off. So I know they was losing them hoes. So this year I wasn't surprised. Luckily, Jason Kidd got the ball to Luka a little earlier in the play, gave him the ball earlier. He just went to work. That's really all his play calling is. Luka get the ball, go to work. So that really, I ain't gonna say it really showed me who they are because I already knew. The Mavericks are the same team. They really took a step back after losing Jalen Brunson and all those guys. So I expected. I ain't gonna say I expected this, but like they in this tier. It's not crazy for the Spurs to beat the Mavericks. Like the Spurs, because they got Wemby, a generational talent who gonna change the game offensively and defensively. They can beat a team like the Mavericks. If they don't come on their shit, they almost did.
Yeah.
I don't expect them to win, no more than like 25 games this season, but that's one of the games they could have won at 82.
And Wemby, with this being his debut, and obviously, The Spurs, they were getting little to no television games. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? I just seen they got another game coming up. They just changed it. Them playing the Clippers October 29th. That's gonna be televised now.
Man,
That's the Wemby
bro.
effect.
I was looking in the stands. I'm like, bro, I've never seen this many people.
Hell with
Like,
rocking.
it was crazy. But you got a generational. The Spurs be getting so lucky. They had David Robinson. They got Tim Duncan, blessed with Wemby. How they keep getting blessed with these number one overall big men that generation? Well, how? That's 3 decades. That's three generations of big men. But
Yeah,
Wemby like I don't want to project too crazy, but like give him a few years, give his team a few years. Jeremy Sohan, Trey Jones off the bench as a pure backup point guard. I love Keldon Johnson. He's a right-handed RJ Barrett with a little bit of jump shot.
definitely.
Um, so that should tell you everything you know about him. But he's third option, just like RJ. They got Devin Vassell, who's a nice shooting guard, smooth. They got a nice team with a great coach. So if it's any coach, is Pop. So I
Yeah,
I I, I think that this team and they all paid too. They all paid. Wemby just got his contract. They all paid. So I think even Pop got like 4 more years left. Not to be on their ass, not don't be on their dick or nothing, but 4 years, Wemby effect. Wemby
that would
effect.
be the real Wemby
Hey,
effect.
that would be the real Wemby
I
effect.
wouldn't be surprised though in 4 years if he do get his first one, because like you said, he just
And they will be trash this year. They get another top five pick. They gonna get another generational guy. It's not done stop with Wemby. If they
or
get
at least another All Star caliber,
yeah at least
a lottery, at bare
shoot.
minimum.
If they win more, if they get anything higher lower, like they get a 7 pick, I'd be shocked. Cause how was they that good? It
Yeah,
was 16 worse than them? No way. But the Wimby effect, I'm here for it. I'm here
yeah,
for it for sure.
definitely real, man. And man, this kind of concludes, episode 32, man. We just want to get in here, give y'all, our regular schedule program and episode, Thursday night football. Really want too much to, elaborate on that. The Buffalo Bills, they came out and dominated, and, you know, in good fashion, how they were supposed to,
You know what's crazy? They only up 6, and the Buccaneers are
got the
undefeated.
ball.
Hey, I was looking at. That's why I
And,
was
and
on
it's
my phone the whole
and it's crazy
time,
because
bro.
I told you, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like they should be dominating.
I was on my phone the whole time. I'm like, bro, what? They went for 2, got it. The defense keeping them in the game.
But they got it. That's what the Bills, the game. They got to be dumb.
This
That's
shouldn't be a game,
yeah.
yeah. This shouldn't be
They
a
because they
competition.
shouldn't still have 24, regardless of like what I'm saying. You can at least get 3, get a
Yeah,
field goal or something.
yeah.
Like that's how I'm feeling. But yeah, man. Obviously we just gave y'all the opening night 2 days yesterday. Uh, we had the Eastern Conference opening season, not opening season, but the Eastern Conference debuts and
Yeah.
things of that nature. Today and stuff. You know, a lot of good games. So right now we got the Phoenix Suns and Lakers playing, so that's probably what we finna catch up on. And once again, bro, y'all leave a like, comment, subscribe on this video, man. We appreciate all the love y'all been giving us and supporting us along the way, man. And we out this mug.